I'm going to talk about, I think this would be my worst year in my whole life. I'm 83 years old, and this had to be my worst 12 months. It all started on September 12th, 2016. Jeanette went in for back surgery. Originally, the back surgery was supposed to take, he says, about an hour and a half. Well, he read in the complications, and would you believe, it took 4 hours. When she came out, she had to lay on her back for 24 hours because they injected some glue to hold parts of her back together. So besides having all of this metal put in her back, she still had to lay down and have it glued. She had to be in the hospital about a week. She came out and had problems. She had to be careful showering and all of this stuff, and that took, I'd say, a good 2 months. So from September 12th to, I'd say about Christmas, she started feeling a lot better. She went in right after the first year and had a physical, all checked out. They says she's in good shape. So lo and behold, we just went about our merry way in the month of, and that from Christmas on. We had a good time at Christmas. We had a splendid time in the holidays, etc. So everything was going quite well. We did lots of neat things. Not too much in January. We had our yearly flu shots, etc., and things like that. February, we were going to go to Las Vegas in February, but I think that's when Linda became ill. I don't remember now. I'm trying to think. Maybe it wasn't February. Let me go look. I'm looking at a calendar now. I think maybe it was March. I think it was March. Let me think. See here. No, I don't see it in March. Well, we went to Pachinga and did a lot of neat things, but maybe it wasn't March. Well, let's try April. We can't see it in April either. I don't know where it is, but I know it's May. It can't be May. I just don't remember what it was when it was. But let's say it was in April sometime. I think Linda got her breast cancer. and Laura and I think Judy went out to see her. I think that was April. Well, it came back again. And lo and behold, she had to go back in for another operation. So the second time, Jeanette went out, I think with Laura. Yeah, they went out with Laura. Second time was Jeanette went out with Laura. And when she came back, it was the 3rd of May she came back from Linda. So she was there for maybe that weekend, and then came back on a Wednesday, which is the 3rd of May. When she came back, she wasn't feeling that well. She said she's tired and all this, and here I'm thinking, well, it's jet lag. I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind. It's nothing serious. It's just jet lag. So we were supposed to leave on that following Friday, which would be the 8th, and go to. We were going to stop in Laughlin, and then from Laughlin we were going to go drive to Phoenix to see Luke graduate. But before that, she said she'd like to go and do a little gambling. So the 4th, which was a Thursday, Jeanette and I went to Pechanga. Now at Pechanga, she said she was having trouble with playing her video poker machines. She said she didn't know what to hold or what to do on playing it, so she quit. Went to play the regular slot machines. I didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe she's still tired from the plane trip. Wasn't paying much attention to that. And she played 3-card poker, and I noticed a few incidences when she played it. It just wasn't right. So now we're coming to the weekend, and we're going to leave on the 8th, and this was the 7th, and I was saying, do you really want to go all the way to Phoenix to see him graduate when you're not feeling that well? And of course, Mother just loves to see her grandchildren and love to see them obtain certain things. And, graduation it's one big deal for anyone. So on the 8th, we started to take off for stop at Laughlin and then into Phoenix. Well, I had to stop because I was still having a lot of trouble with my left leg. Still am, but that's another story. So I went to supposedly a nerve doctor to see if there's any nerve damage in that leg, because it just gives out every once in a while. I'll do something, I'll step off a curb, and it'll just but anyway, that's, like I say, that's another story. So we were there, and the nerves are okay, the doctor said. Jeanette was waiting in the lobby for me, and I come out, and she just didn't look good. And I said, "Are you sure you want to go to Phoenix now?" I said, She says, "No, she says, I feel tired." She says, "I just don't want to go." I says, "Fine." So we left that nerve doctor's office, and we're driving home. I said, "You want to stop over and grab lunch over at Ruby's at Salco's Plaza?" She said, "Sure, let's stop over there." So I stopped, we parked, we started walking. We didn't walk 50 feet. She says, I can't go any further. I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "I just can't walk anymore." She says, I feel like I'm going to fall down." I said, "You serious?" She said, "Yeah, I'm serious." She says, "I think I'd like to go to a healthcare facility. I said no. He turned around. I said no. We're going right to Hoag emergency room. I said this ain't gonna work. So we got back in the car, drove to Hoag emergency, and checked her in. When they got there, she said that she was low on red and high on whites, so they gave her a transfusion. They gave her, I think, 2 units of blood. And of course, when they did that, she says, I'm feeling a lot better. And the doctor says, well, we got to go check you out. So they put her in a room. And I heard this young doctor there says, acute mylar. And it says acute mylar. That to me didn't ring a bell. I went home that night and looked it up, and it was acute mylar leukemia. It was quite a shock. I mean, what I read was not that encouraging. Blood transfusions didn't work. The drug they had to set it in arrest was about 5% people that took it ended up getting the cancer in regression. The average lifespan at that time for that kind was 15 months. Went in and I says it wasn't good, but the doctor says we'll start the chemo real soon. Now there was, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the drug now. I don't know, but anyway, it was the drug that, the only thing that could work, because she was too old to have, a bone marrow transplant where they had killed everything and gave her a new bone marrow. So she couldn't have that. So we tried that first, chemo. Then she took that for 2 weeks till the end of May. And then now we're in June, and this drug isn't working. I could tell by she was having blood tests run every day, and her whites kept going up and her reds kept coming down. So didn't know what to do. The doc said they had just proved in May a new drug called Zeppelin or something. I can't remember what it was called now. But it had a better track record. It had 25% in remission. So that was 5 times better than the first one. So I ordered that. Now that was taken by mouth for 2 weeks. It was expensive stuff. It was like $4,000 for every 2 weeks. So I ordered 2 weeks, and she started taking it on the, I think it was about the 19th of May. Well, the first week it tore up her mouth. I mean, her mouth got so sore she couldn't eat. And after 10 days, it wasn't doing anything. It just wasn't doing anything at all. On the I think it was I'm trying to call out. I think it was on the 28th of May that the doctor said looks like it's not, the new drug isn't working. After she took it for about 10 days, it wasn't working. So we had decided what we were going to do. This young doctor came in and told us that Jeanette had to make a decision. I think this was like on the 28th of May or something. Yeah. That we had to make a decision that what they're trying just isn't working. So Jeanette we spent that night talking about it, and then we spend the next morning. She got up and she says, "I'm going to try to take this stuff again that hurts her mouth," but she says, "I'm going to try that again because Linda was scheduled to come out on the 4th of July. So she said, "That's what I planned." Well, that afternoon, Linda changed her plans and decided she was going to come out on the I got my timeline wrong. The 24th is when, I'm now looking at the calendar, 24th is when Jeanette's, when Jeanette was still on the new drug. The 25th, the doctor, that was on a Sunday, came in, told us that this new drug isn't working, and we have to do something. Monday morning, I arrived real early. Jeanette and I, she talked it over. She was thinking it over that night. We sat down and she says, "Well, Linda isn't coming out till the 4th, which was a week, about 10 days from that Monday, the 26th. I said, "Well, let's go on with it." I said, "If that's what you want, we'll go on with the chemo." That afternoon, Laura came over and says, "Linda is going to come out sooner. She's going to come out on the 28th. So I told Jeanette, she's coming out on the 28th. What do you want to do? So she said, "Well, let's go talk back to the blood doctor." So we called him, and he came back on that Monday. Or I think we found out Sunday that she's coming in on the next Wednesday. So that's why she says Monday that she was not going to take any more chemo. I didn't know what to say, but it was her life. It was it was her decision. So she stopped taking chemo on the 26th of June. The 28th, we had a big party. All the kids who could make it came to the party. My sister and her brother came out on the 29th. And from that day on, she kept going worse, got worse and worse. She lost all feelings in her feet, legs, and arms. The only thing that the doctor said was good is that she did not suffer. She was not suffering. On the 6th of July, got up early in the morning. Laura and Linda were here. Linda was staying overnight. I think Laura stayed over that night also. Laura and I were sitting in my office talking, and she made a mention that what I'd like to be when Jeanette passes. I said, it's in God's hand. I says, whatever will be, will be. I just said that, and it wasn't, 5 minutes later, the hospice nurse who was with Jeanette came up and said, it's time. So we got Linda up, went downstairs, and I held her hand when she died. I know she went to heaven, but I'll still miss her. I think I'm going to end this one as part one. I'll go into part two later.